Dividend Yield, Module 232. This is the course of Financial Management, and this is our discussion on dividend policy. Before this module, we have talked about some of the basics of dividend, the payment of dividend, the amount of profit, and retention. In this module, we'll be talking about the yield or the return to the investors through dividend. The term yield is often used as the output, that production, that even for agriculture produce we use the term yield. But when yield is used in stock markets or with reference to the returns of the investors, this is actually the return of an investor with reference to his current market price. That is, that an investor or a shareholder purchases a stock at a certain market price. Now, that market price may not be the current price, because if I'm holding a stock, let's say for 3-4 months, the price might have gone up or gone down. Now, the return which I get today may be in the form of dividend, or even if it is capital gain, I need to relate this return to the price that is existing today. So here the term yield simply refers to the return, and this return is to be calculated with reference to the market price of the investor. Question is, what other prices or what other values can be taken to calculate return? For example, somebody would say that the amount of return may be related to the book value of the share. उससे भी हम return calculate कर सकते हैं, and may be related to the par value of the share. So that can also give us the return of the shareholder, or it may be related to the average value of the investment. That is, if we are having a holding period of 3-4 months, let's see what is the average value of that holding period. So there are different ways of calculating your return. But as we have just said, that if we relate this return to the current existing market price, that is what is called yield. The term stock yield is again very commonly used. Stock yield means that a particular stock, how much return it is providing, how much return to the shareholder a particular stock of a company gives. Now, that is the term which is commonly used as the stock yield. Likewise, if we are talking about bonds, the term would be bond yield. Or in stocks, if we go into common and preferred, we may use the term common stock yield and preferred stock yield. So, stock yield is the total return of a shareholder with reference to the current market price. And this will include the capital gain and the dividend. हमने ये बात पहले भी तफसील से की है कि किसी भी इन्वेस्टर या शेयर होल्डर को दो तरह के रिटर्न्स मिलते हैं. एक वो जो मार्केट प्राइस के डिफरेंस यानी बाइंग और सेलिंग प्राइस के डिफरेंस से मिलता है, और दूसरा वो जो उसे डिविडेंड की शक्ल में मिलता है. In this discussion, we are referring to what is called dividend yield. यानी जो डिविडेंड पे किया जाता है, कंपनी उस डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर्ड को रिलेट करती है जनरली टू द पार वैल्यू. यानी जब एक कंपनी डिविडेंड अनाउंस करेगी तो वो यूं कह सकती है कि कंपनी ने 100% डिविडेंड दिया है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज, ये 100% किस वैल्यू का है? सो जनरली इट इज द रिलेशनशिप विद द पार वैल्यू. सपोज a company's stock has a par value of 10 rupees and the company has paid dividend of 10 rupees. So relating 10 to the par value of 10, it becomes 100%. But the question is, as an investor, if I have bought this share not for 10 rupees, but let's say for 100 rupees, then 10 rupees dividend with reference to 100 rupees current market price, it will only be 10%. And this is the concept of dividend yield. So, dividend is declared with reference to par value, but it is to be calculated with reference to the current market price of the stock. So, this discussion of dividend yield simply is concluded here, that yield means relationship of the return to the current market price, and it is a very fair way to calculate the return, because if I have invested a certain amount today, or if I sell this amount today, the amount that I'll get for reinvestment purposes should be the amount that should be related with the return that I am getting. So, we conclude our discussion here, but we'll move forward in the discussion of dividend policy in the next modules to come. And there we'll further explore that how investors would look forward to have dividends in the form of cash or in the form of what we call stock dividends. We'll have more detailed discussion on it in the next modules, but this is one point where we conclude that the return to the shareholders in the form of dividend with reference to the current market price is dividend yield.